Okay, what's up, guys? My name is TMossBoss, and I wanted to let you guys know about Anchor. Anchor is an app that you can download to record your podcast in the easiest way ever. Like, it doesn't require a whole lot to know. Like, you just pretty much press record and you just start doing your podcast and stuff. I don't know what you plan on doing, but you plan on doing something. That's why you're here. So, yeah, download Anchor, or you could go to their website, anchor.fm, and yeah, you could do it straight from your computer too. So yeah, it's easy. They distribute everything to they distribute your podcast to every streaming services like out there, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere. Okay, and then you can monetize it, so you're making money off of what you love doing. All right, so people, make sure you do it. Make sure you download Anchor, or you go to their website, anchor.fm. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for listening. Peace. Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I think I spoke on this maybe last year. If I didn't, then this is gonna probably be the first time I ever did speak on something like this. But fans going to people's houses, like somebody that they idolize, or somebody, that they're overall a fan of, that they support. Because I've heard, it seems like with every situation where a fan goes to a YouTuber's house, the YouTuber does not want this fan at their house. And I had to say, the one situation that stuck out most to me where a fan has showed up to a person's house was the Gavin situation from Achievement Hunter, him. So a fan showed up to his house. I guess the backstory on the whole situation was that the dude was like he probably was a stalker, but he was obsessed. That's the word I'm trying to use. He was obsessed with Gavin's wife. And the guy showed up, I guess was going to kill Gavin and kidnap his wife. Most likely was going to end up killing her too. But then Gavin and his wife, they ended up, I think they hid inside of a closet, or they hid somewhere in their house, and called the cops. And so the cops showed up, and then this guy got out in front of their house and got in his car and I guess killed himself. And I'm like, yo, that is some wild stuff. That is some serious wild stuff. And I'm like, I don't understand why people gotta be that's what I'm like. I encourage all of my fans, do not be obsessed with me. Be your own person. If you get inspired and motivated by me, cool. But don't let me be the only thing that you think about 24/7. Because that's just on some weird stuff. That's why I was getting on this Twitter hater, because I'm like, bro, you are thinking about me 24/7. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong otherwise. Because I'm like, yo, you on some weird stuff. Like, you are on like some legit weird stuff. So that's why I'm like, people that carry on like that, I'm like, yo, it comes to a point in time where you have to realize that the behavior that you're portraying right now is not normal. You wouldn't want your kids to see that. You wouldn't want your wife or husband to see that. You wouldn't want your families, mom, dad, brother, sister, dog, cat, hamster, pet rock. You would not want anybody that is close to you to see that. So that's why I'm like, people that carry on like that, I'm like, yo, some people sometimes like that just needs a reality check. They seriously need a reality check, because carrying on like that is not normal. And I've heard, and then it was like, that situation happened a while ago, but I had just recently seen a video of the YouTuber Deji. And Deji, a fan showed up to his house and was wanting to box him, but he showed up with like two other people. And I did do a reaction video to that, and I overall said, I'm like, yo, that situation does not look trusting. It doesn't at all. 3 people show up to my house. One of them wants to fight. What's the other 2 here for? That's why I'm like, that type of stuff, it comes off as like, okay, y'all seem like y'all trying to jump me or something. Like, I don't know. When in situations like that, I tend to get a little bit paranoid. But I feel like I have a right to be paranoid if there's random people showing up to my house and I don't know who they are. I didn't invite you. I didn't do none of that. And I think people, there's times where I'm like, I invite if friends be all like, oh, can I come over to your house real quick? They have the respect to ask me beforehand. But if a friend of mine showed up, I'd be all like, what you doing here? Like, you didn't even bother trying to call. Like, I definitely would bring that up to them. I'm like, and most likely I'm like, yeah, I just probably been looking at them through the window. Like, what are they doing? What's your frustration? Why are you out here? I'm like, what's wrong with you? See, I feel like with a friend, it's like, you could go outside, but with a fan, I'm like, I know people would be, because I remember somebody, they did get on me a while back, and I talked about how, like, back then, and I still have that, like, same type of energy and things. I guess maybe now I would give them a warning, but back then I would be like, no, I'm just gonna shoot you with a paintball gun, because hold on for a second. There's a friend of mine that just texted me. All right, I'm back. But anyways, but yeah, there was like somebody that really got on me about that, over the fact that I was like getting on people for showing up to YouTubers' houses, and they was just like, if they want to go to the YouTuber's house, they very well have the right to. No, you do not. And that's exactly what I was just saying. If I don't even invite my own friends over, what makes you think that you have the right to come over? Nobody has the right to go over to anybody's house. Nobody whatsoever. Maybe if we were friends and we were kids and I was going over to your house to come out and see if you wanted to play, then okay, that is the one and only time when it makes sense that a friend can go over to another. Because back then, I remember back then I used to do that all the time. I didn't have cell phones. I didn't, I didn't have social media, so it wasn't like I can contact somebody and be like, hey, can you come outside? But I feel like if that was established, where if I did have a phone or if I did have social media at a young age, I feel like that, yeah, I would definitely reach out to my friends and be like, hey, you want to go out for a bike ride? You want to go over to the park? You want to just pretty much be kids and stuff. Even then, as a kid, I feel like that type of stuff should matter. But as a kid, of course, they ain't gonna have cell phones. Of course, they ain't gonna have social media and all of that, so they can't very well contact their friends. So that's why they would have to go over to their friend's house, knock on the door and stuff, got their bikes in their front yard and things, but that's kid stuff. I feel like as you get older, you have the right to have social media, you have the right to have a phone, you have the right, and if I don't reply, or if I say no and you show up anyways, and I feel like then I have that right to cause some physical harm to you if you show up to my house. I know people would be like, oh, well, you're just a violent individual, and proud of it. Proud of it. You can go ahead and say everything you want to say about me, about fans showing up to my house. If I didn't invite you, you have no reason to be at my house, period. There shouldn't be no arguments about it. I was like kind of shocked by that person when they did say that, because I was all like, is something wrong with you? Like, how would you like if a person that just escaped from prison just showed up to your house? You would be worried, right? You would have something to say about that, right? So that's why I'm like, yeah, if you wouldn't want nobody showing up to your house, don't try to come up with some argument about why people should show up to a YouTuber's house. There's so many situations. There was the one situation where, what YouTubers was it? I can't remember who it was, but I'm telling you, I can seriously go on and on and on about all the different stories of like YouTubers showing up to. I have to say the one that I did think was funny, but it's like, still don't show up to a YouTuber's house. So the guy was like outside the YouTuber's house and he had some chalk. And he was like writing like F you on his sidewalk and things. So the YouTuber's banging on the window saying, hey, stop that. Kid, no joke, took an egg out his pocket, threw it. You see it splatter all on the YouTuber's window and stuff. I'll admit, I did laugh at that. I did think that was pretty funny and stuff, but it's still wrong. It's still something that kid shouldn't have done. But I'm just all like, but I think the YouTuber, I can't remember if he was laughing about it and things, but it was like, it was kind of funny and stuff. So I'll admit, I did laugh about that, but as I was saying, still going on with my point, it is still wrong that dude showed up to his house. And there's been other situations where fans have showed up to YouTubers' houses and stuff talking about, oh, can I make some videos? I'm like, no, you can't. Go home and make videos. But don't come over to my house making videos. And no. Then I remember I was reading a little bit about KSI. Because KSI, so I'm pretty sure everybody remembers when he came out with that book a while ago. And the clean title of it, because I think the explicit title, it had an explicit word in it. So the clean title was I Am a Tool. And he came out and he talked about the Gujan Daniels situation. So for those that don't know, there's this YouTuber named Gujan Daniels that was at one point, he was friends with KSI, but then he came out in this interview and acted like he didn't even know who KSI was. So, KSI, he pretty much, like, after that situation and KSI showed that, like, how mad he was, oh, yeah, ruined that guy's career of ever being a YouTuber. that guy, I'm like, I thought I was getting dislikes. That dude was getting some serious dislikes every time he would upload a video. Every time he would, like, because he didn't disable the comments. He didn't disable the likes and dislikes. So every time when you would see him upload a new video, it would just be flooded with KSI fans. It would just be flooded with dislikes. So it was like, there was just, I guess, yeah, he could have stopped it and things, but he did bring it on himself. And I feel like I feel like why he did leave the stuff there was because he knew he messed up. He knew he messed up. This guy gives you your big break, all right? But no, all right, but no, let me cut to how they overall, like, was it, like, I guess, how they became friends or something like that. But I think he was a fan that did show up to KSI's house and one. Well, I think they were friends, and I think they did talk at one point. But he did show up to KSI's house one time. I think that's what he was saying. He showed up to his house during Christmas and was all like, "Oh, bro, let's make some videos real quick." I'm like, bro, I am spending time with my family. You gonna have to wait. Like, you can come back on December 26th, but December 24th and 5th, that is family time. You gotta go. I'm like, that friendship would have ended right then and there. Cause I'm like, no, I'm not making any. If I'm like in the comfort of my own home, and you hit me up saying like, hey, let's make a video. I'm just like, that would be much more understanding. I'm like, we're in the comfort of our own homes. We're probably gonna take like a little minor break away from family and stuff. Play with our video games, play with our new gadgets and all of that and things. So I will probably do it while I'm at home. But if you come over to my house and I didn't, like, once again, if I didn't even invite you, yeah, that's going to be a situation. That's going to be a problem. I'm like, nah, bro, you got to go home. I'm like, you going to have to wait. And then I will hit you up and let you know when you can come over here and we can make videos and stuff. But don't ever just show up to my house thinking like, oh, I'm supposed to be cool with that. I'm like, nah, you good, fam. So, and I know like a lot of times, like, it's kids that show up to YouTubers' houses and stuff and be wanting to like get pictures and autographs, and well, nobody don't really be asking for autographs. I don't know, I feel like autographs then died off. You never hear nobody asking for an autograph. They always be all like, oh, can I get a picture or something, or a video real quick? But it's like, it's still like a picture, but it's just like in a video form or something. But anyways, yeah, you never hear people talking about autographs anymore. But what other situations? Oh yeah, it was like one of the most recent situations where the dude showed up to their house on like numerous occasions. So he showed up to their house, and I can't remember what he asked them. I don't think it was like he wanted to make videos with them or something, but he was like asking them for something, and the like YouTubers was like declining him. And at first they were being polite and was telling him like, hey, look, you gotta go and stuff, like, because overall, we didn't invite you, so can you please leave? Can you just please have the respect of leaving my property? So I guess the guy did, and then he showed up again, and he was just laying in their driveway. Weird, right? I'm like, why would you? My thing is that none of my friends, unless we are doing a video or a comedy skit where it involves them laying in the driveway, but if I did not ask you to lay in that driveway, yeah, then it's going to be a situation where I'm probably going to, I give people the 3-strike rule. Now, after that after the second strike, once you're on that third strike, I'm just going to, at that point, I'm like, yo, it's going to turn violent. And I don't want it to turn violent, so that's why I'm like, I think it's best if you just don't show up to the house. Because I'm like, you don't know if this person can, my thing is that you don't know if this person can have a gun. So you being a kid, an adult, whoever, if this person has a gun, what do you do when you get shot? What do you do when you get shot by this person because you want to go on their property and see your favorite YouTuber and stuff? My thing is like, if I'm your favorite YouTuber, what I'm saying right now, that should be established. Don't come to my house. Okay, if you're a hater, don't come to my house. And they've had situations, I've heard situations like that where haters have even showed up to people's houses and things. Because I remember there was one situation, I can't remember that YouTuber's name, but it looked like he lived like on like a farm or like, something like that, farm, ranch, whatever. But anyways, he had like a lot of land. And I think he was out doing some like event or something for YouTube. But a hater showed up to his house while he was gone. And was like flipping off his house, walking around his property and stuff. And I'm like, why? For what? That's why I'm like, man, I never understand why it's like people have to act like this and carry on like this. For what reason? I really don't know. But I'm like, that's why I'm like, to those that do that, why? What is I need to know what is the reason. Like, if you are listening to this podcast, please hit me up on Twitter, comment on my post on Instagram, be like, hey, I'm referring to your podcast episode about people showing up to other people's house unannounced, or YouTube, or showing up to a YouTuber's house, or just an entertainer. Because even outside of YouTube where there's situations, because there was the one dude, he's the dude from that the one TV show with Johnny Knoxville and Steve-O. I don't want to say the name because you know it is an explicit word and stuff, but dang, what is it like? Bam Marge? I can't even think of that dude's. Well, I know his first name is Bam, but I can't think of his like. Just type up this show. Bam Margera. Bam Margera. I think that's his name. I think it was him where it's like a fan had showed up to his house, and he was the person was just acting crazy and stuff, but. Marjorie owns former and brought the home. Sorry. So they don't even talk about. Okay, maybe if I search up like Bam Mar fan shows up to house. I think it was him. I went to. No, I don't think it was him. Dang, who was it? Okay, well, it was somebody that showed up to his house, and I don't know if it was Bam, but it was a situation where somebody showed up to an entertainer's house, and the woman was like, she stripped down, butt naked, laid in the bed. And then when they called, I think it was Bam. Who was it? Hold on, let me type up. Okay, just type up the TV show name. Fan shows up to house. Nope. I'm not finding it. I am not finding it. Bro, I don't understand. Like, I know this story happened. Okay. Or was it? No. Naked fan shows up to house. It was somebody. Chris Brown. Okay, well, it did happen to Chris Brown. Chris Brown. It was somebody else. I don't understand. Like, bro, I hate when you like search up things on Google and then it's like stuff just doesn't pop up. And I'm like, I'm positive that this situation happened, but yeah, it did happen to Chris Brown too. But yeah, it just, I don't know. Now I feel like now I sound like I'm crazy, like this story that like never happened or something. But I'm pretty sure everybody can relate to me when you're trying to find something on Google and Google just wants to be dumb and stupid and acts like it can't even find what you're looking for and stuff. That's what I'm like, bro. Sometimes I'm just all like, I don't even want to search up things on Google because it's stupid. I'm like, man, I think, oh man, like I don't know what's behind the search like system with Google, but I'm like, you guys just like delete the website and start all over again. But anyways, what other situations of fans show? I've heard of a situation where a fan showed up to a YouTuber's house and broke their window or something like that. I think it was like a glass door or something. What else has happened? Yeah, it's like, you know, you hear that like, oh, and then of course, like a few years ago when Jake Paul brought that on himself because he posted his information out there for fans to show up to his house. So yeah, but it was just like more so a problem for the people that lived around him, where it's like you just had a long stressful day at work and then you come home and you got 15,000 or okay, maybe not that much, but you got like 100 like 12 to 13 or 14-year-olds standing out in front of the house and things like screaming Jake Paul and singing It's Every Day, bro, and you trying to sleep or you trying to get to your garage or something, and then yeah, you got all these kids standing in front of you and things. So yeah, I think it's best fans, supporters, haters, whoever, I don't care, obsessive people, don't show up to people's homes unannounced. Don't be like, oh, well, I tweeted them or I posted on their comments, or like, no, don't show up to their houses, period. Whether you asked them or you didn't, if they hadn't invited you personally, you should not be at that person's house. There shouldn't be no arguments about it. There shouldn't be no, oh, well, what if I, no, there shouldn't be no, like, and I know there's people out there that are not crazy and they just be like, yo, and then no, there was the one situation with David Dobrik. The one people, so the woman showed up, so she showed up to the David Dobrik's house with her kid. And David Dobrik was all like, like, hey, can you like leave and stuff, because like, once, like, just like any other situation, I didn't invite you, so it's kind of weird people just showing up to my house. And so they was like, oh, well, can I get a picture real quick? And he's all like, nah, like, if I think he did say like if we were out in public. And that's another thing where I'm like, if you see me out in public, oh, approach me, jump on my back, like freaking hug me, like just be screaming, crying, give me the Beyonce treatment. I don't care, but we are out in public, so I can't do anything to you if I'm in a different area or something, or if we're out in the public or something. So that's why I'm like, but if you do approach me being all aggressive and stuff, I will show you the same energy and things. So I'm just saying, be cautious. But yeah, if you come up to me and you're all like, oh my God, you're TMossBoss, like, I'm your biggest fan, can I get a picture? I'm like, yes, man, let's sit here and like, no, because my thing is like, if you approach me out in public and then it's like, okay, cool, we could sit here and make like a quick like 3-4 minute video or something, like I'm saying, like, you like, dude, like, it's cool if we out in public, but you're at my house, and so I'm like, no, that's not cool. So no video, no picture, no none of that. So I'm like, you gotta go, all right? Have the respect, because I'm pretty sure if you were in my situation, you wouldn't want fans to show, because my thing is like, put yourself in the YouTubers or in the entertainer's shoes where they're highly famous, highly well known and stuff, and you got people showing up to your house. So let's say if you are a YouTuber, right, you're making videos and you got fans like banging all on your windows, breaking into your house, stealing your stuff, because they're all like, oh, it's my favorite YouTuber's shoes, or it's my favorite YouTuber's clothes, or his food, or some, stealing your stuff. Like, it's causing the most like inconvenience like in your life ever. And you gotta go through all this show. You gotta like go through, like, you gotta move constantly, go back and forth, and it's stressing other people out. Like, you can't have a normal life if people are carrying on like that. So I'm saying, put yourself in them people's shoes and see how stressed out you would be and stuff. But anyways, back on the David Dobrik situation. So and my thing is, like, I am a big fan of David Dobrik. I have been to California numerous times, but I am lazy, okay? So my thing is, if I do see him out in public, I will approach him and be like, well, I guess, well, I'm a little bit more respectful, because even if I did approach him, I would be like, I would ask and be like, hey, can I get a picture, or, like, something like that. If he's cool with it, cool, because sometimes there's people that are like, nah, I don't want, like, no picture, because I think it was Kevin James, that actor, where he was all like, and I guess, like, if people don't really like that public eye or something, I guess I can understand that and things. But yeah, I don't know, like, I definitely would be like approaching them, but I would be like I would be respectful and just be like, yo, can I get a picture or something like that? If he's cool with it, cool. If he's not, he's not. I'm like, all right, well, just talk about it, I guess. Be like, I seen David Dobrik, I asked for a picture, he said no, so therefore everybody's gonna think that this story is fake. But anyways, but yeah, so the mom, so when the mom was all like, back once again on this David Dobrik story, so the mom was all like, oh, well, can I get a picture at least? And David Dobrik declined, and she was like, well, we drove all this way, like, we can't just, I don't care how far you could have drove, you could have came from Fiona's homeland far, far away, I do not care. You are at my house. I don't care how far. I don't care about your gas situation, your oil situation, your brake situation. I don't care about any situation that you put yourself in. You put yourself in that situation where you came to my house. I didn't invite you over to my house. I didn't, like, you have no business to be here. So that's why I'm like, yeah. And then I know that some people will also talk about this situation where it's what's that like TikTok group that has like the Hype House or something like that, where they moved houses and some people showed up to their house afterwards. I'm like, look, I'm not living there anymore. So I'm like, any house that I used to live at, if there's some other people that's living there, be respectful and don't bother them, all right? But if the house is for sale, if you want to like drive past the house when it's for sale and stuff or something, be like, oh yeah, do that. I don't care. I'm not living there no more. But just be respectful. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just be respectful. If you ain't gonna be respectful, then prepare to. Because my thing is that if this YouTuber has a gun, or if they're a highly trained technical fighter, and then they come at you with violence, and you could be all like, oh, I'm a kid, or I'm a, like, it doesn't matter. you showed up to this person's house. They're allowed to see you as a threat. If you showing up on their property, they didn't invite you to their property, and they telling you to leave, and you're not leaving, they have a right to be violent towards you. They do, because guess what? You are on their property. So my thing is, anything goes when you're on their property. Because if I tell you to leave and you don't, and I'm trying to make you leave and you acting like you don't want to leave, I will get violent with you. I will. Plain and simple. Don't care. I'm all like, and my thing is, if it's like a kid, yeah, I'm just going to probably grab the kid by his shirt, throw him out on the ground. I'm like, don't cross this property line. End of story. Otherwise, you're just going to get your shirt tossed, and you're going to, you're just going to have to get, like, thrown up out of here and things. So I'm saying, like, you know, like, just be prepared. And if it's like, then if it's an adult, I'm like, yo, leave or I'm going to swing on you. Do you want to get swung on? I'm like, I don't want to do it to you because you seem like you a chill person, but you're leaving me no other choice. So I'm saying, like, I suggest you leave. And I'm like, if a fight breaks out, I'm like, you brought that all on yourself. You brought it all on yourself. So anyways, I'm a cool person, but just don't do stuff like that. All right. So anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Once again, don't show up to YouTubers, entertainers. Don't show up to their houses. It's not normal. So, anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, like, subscribe. If you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow, subscribe, however it's set up. And if you are purchasing tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. And if you are purchasing any gear from Facilo, make sure you guys go check out the ad where you can use my referral link. And also, you can use my coupon code TMossBoss, and it will knock 10% off of your next purchase. So, that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.